Nice. I've been sitting here listening to mine bouncing left, right and centre. Blimey, he's taking you right around there, isn't he? That's not him over there, is it? In the middle of the lake. Jesus. No. Wow. Yeah, my Bluey was giving it a little bit of a beep 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 beep. I thought that was going to be the one to go. They do like a mackerel here, don't they? Secret bait. Seems to be the one. Plenty of time, mate.
I was just thinking about my left hand rod, thinking I weren't quite happy with how long the hair was and baits being presented.
Yeah. Wow, it's worked. Small baits.
This is the right hand rod. This is the one I was put.
Small baits are working.
The first one I'm trying not to bully it.
No, take your time, mate. There's no rush.
I think it's a big one.
What side's he coming?
No, he's not yet.
No, roughly. In the middle. Yeah, I'll just hold it in the net after and till we get ourselves ready. The other one's on back ledge as well, isn't it? How funny would that be if it was a carp? A mackerel.
That's definitely not.
Oh, let me get mine out. Nice one, Weller. Beat me to it again, ain't ya? Which side do you want me?
I'll be back with it really on. Nice colour, it's sparkle.
It is, isn't it? It's got unusual back markings, tail markings. Oh, rubbing up.
No, there's water.
Oh man. Play it all the way in, right under the rod tip. You should have nipped that up. So, you didn't start up?
Yeah, what?
Oh.
Just couldn't go in, that's in the corner.
No. Wow.
Oh well.
So, Mr. Weller is in again. He's just had his second run. And he lost his first one, as you probably saw. He's just had a proper screamer. Well, his alarms wasn't turned high, but it would have been a one toner if you've heard him close to him. He's just off to the loo, and yeah, his rod just rattled, mate. And that was my rod. On the mackerel rod again. So it's the second one he's had a bite on the mackerel on the right hand rod to open water. In a bay just so we're on a point, so there's a bay just there on our right hand side, and Keith's just hooked into a fish just between the bay and the point. It's giving him a nice scrap actually, a lot better than the last fish. got a fairly tight clutch and it's pulling him hard. Now the catfish in here go, you know, I think the biggest one of recent trips for people here is in the last month or so. I think it's about £44 or £42. Now, the catfish are not known to be hugely massive in this place, but they give a really good account for themselves, and it's really good sport. And if you want to catch your first catfish, or you fancy just catching catfish, you know, like a runs water for catfish, this place is perfect. Charlie's Lake, down in Kent near Ashford. I can't recommend it enough. It's so picturesque as well, as hopefully you'll see in the video. So I pieced together a few bits and bobs. Guys, not that far out now. There he is. You can see him just surface there. Again, like I say, it was on the mackerel. Keith was hair rigging the mackerel with a pop-up on the end, pink pop-up. Not that the colour matters. Nice fish, Keith. Same fish, is it? We went back to that same spot because I knew a bait was going to be there. Do you want me to come and net for you? Yeah, last time I went to net, before I even put the net to go and net the fish, Keith was going to walk backwards, and just before that actually happened, the fish actually came off. Nice little kitten, giving a little tail slap there. See if we can zoom in on it. And Keith nets it. And it's not done yet. It's winning the battle though. Those rods, those 201 Witchwood rods, 3.5 test curve, perfect for this UK catfishing. I'm using £3 test entities from Nash. You can't buy them anymore. Well, you might be able to buy the odd one or two on eBay. There we go. Lovely. You alright? Lovely jubbly. Lift the rod up more. You've got too much line out. Hey, nearly. There we go. Sweet. Right, well, let's get this baby sorted out, and we'll show you it hopefully in a moment. Nice one, Mr. Weller. First cat of the session. Managed to do me over. Lovely. Hang on.
They are as old than the other ones.
They are. Yeah, I think it. Alright, matey. What's up, folks? So, welcome back to another video. Keith's making a bit of grub at the moment, and as you saw from that footage a minute ago, he lost the fish right at the net, unfortunately. But made up for it not that long after, maybe half an hour, 40 minutes later, he had another fish. We estimate around £10 mark, as you saw. It's a nice little fish. We didn't want to keep it out for too long, wanted to get it straight back. They should be around spawning time now, so believe it or not, we're in this really picturesque area, really picturesque place in Kent. It's called Charlie's Lake. It's at what we now call our annual catfishing venue. We like to come down here and fish this venue at least once a year. We did plan on doing a few day sessions here as well, but we like to do an overnighter here for 36 hours. So last year I didn't film, unfortunately, and I was umming and ahhing whether to do one this year as well, but I persevered with it, and I'm going to bring you a video. So like I say, the lake is actually really empty. They're doing a bit of work on it, the owner, at the moment, but there's only like four people on the lake, and we're all sort of within the same area. So we're on peg 6, me and Keith. We're bivvied up together. No doubt you'll see later on when I show you around camp, shall we say. Keith's fishing 2 rods, and I'm fishing 2 rods as well, although you're allowed to fish 3. But I'll show you the swims, I'll show you the rigs, and I'll show you the sort of way we're out to catch these catfish on this particular lake. Now, Keith, interestingly enough, a lot of catfishing waters or venues that have catfish in the UK are a little bit funny about using dead baits, I find anyway, especially in Kent area. But Keith caught that on a piece of mackerel. They tend to love mackerel here. I brought mackerel with me as well. We got enough that would keep us going for a week pike fishing. But yeah, I'm using a little bit of bluey at the moment on my one, and I'll show you the rigs that I use a little bit later. So yeah, without further ado, keep watching, watch the rest of the video, and hopefully we'll have a couple of more fish to put on the bank. We've still got another at least 24 hours left, maybe over, a little bit over than 24 hours. It's such a pretty place, and hopefully you'll get to see that within the video. So keep watching and I'll bring you back shortly. Hello folks, so Keith had that fish about an hour ago, so I decided to actually change things up a little bit. That's told me a lot just in that first little half of the day, shall we say. He's had 2 runs with no bait around the hook bait, and they've both been on mackerel on a dead bait. So I just reeled in my pellet rod, which I'm going to show you the rig anyway now. And this warm water at the moment, the pellet rig's actually, the pellets come off. I had a load of little takes and little knocks and little fiddly bits, so it could have quite easily been pulled off by a small fish or a passing fish. So the rig I was using, well, the rig you should really be using down in this particular lake, because they're really funny on rigs, is this rig here. So I've got about 1.5 foot, 18 inches of anti-tangle tubing. That's dark matter tubing, so it pins everything right down. I've just got a running lead, you see, on a John Roberts run ring with some silicone over the top, just to making it all neat up. That's a 2-ounce lead. Down to, as you can see there, a bead. That's like a buffer type bead. So it actually butts up against it like that, as you can see. And then I'm using a swivel. It's a large eye-ring swivel. And then the trace, or the hook link, is it's a French company called, I can't remember the name of it, begins with C. But it's called Soulier. I can't pronounce it, but it's a French catfish, and it's a £100 braid. So there we go. And then it's a hook. That one's a Catfish Pro. It's like an eagle type claw. It's a size 2, I believe. Very strong hook, barbless. They've got a barbless rule here. They're very hot on the rules here. It's just the same as any pellet rig you would normally use for barb or carp fishing. And then you can see it's the hair, and then it's got a piece of plastic bait stopper, which is for meat, for keeping meat on. If you used to put meat on a hair like this, it'd probably cut through the meat. So that's the rig I'm using. But what we're going to do is we're going to change it up a little bit. So I'll bring you back in a moment and I'll show you the next rig. Okay, so I brought you back again really quickly to show you the rig that I'm going to be using, which is, again, this is a Catfish Pro hook link material. It's slightly lighter. I think it's about 40-45 pound breaking strain. I'm using the same hook, but this time I've just attached it via a, it's a little bit frayed there. I like to leave an end tag just for slippage. Although with braid you don't tend to get it like you do in mono or any of those type of materials. And I'm using the same hook. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use something slightly different. Let me show you what it's going to be. Squid. I haven't used one of these for years. I have fished with squid before for catfish. I've never caught on it. It's a classic bait for catfish. Keith bought these from his local supermarket, I think. And all we're going to do, I'm going to fish it whole, is I'm going to thread it, just like I do, like you would with a sea bait. It's actually quite tough skin. I'm not going to go fully down the bait because I don't think it needs it. So I'm just going to keep working it down. I'll show you in a moment once I've done it. Probably halfway to a quarter down. I don't want to go too far down because it is tough bait. So I'm just pulling that through, working our way down, and then just nicking it at the end. Very tough bait. There we go. Oh, nearly. It's a bit fiddly. You've never done it before, it's a bit fiddly. So there we go. That's the finished rig. So you got to make sure you leave that hook protruding. I could make the bait smaller, but I really fancy giving it a go. You never can tell, you know, you may get something on it, you may not. But these are a classic bait. These are absolute beauties. Nice size as well. So we'll have to thank Mr. Weller for letting us use one of his Canamaris. On the other rig, it's pretty similar to as you saw with the pellet rig, but what I'm using is, again, I'll probably show you, I'm using, if any of you are familiar, let me show you. Any of you guys are familiar with Mick Brown's videos, or Mick Brown in general. I don't know if he invented it or came up with a kebab rig. You may have seen it before for pike fishing. It's using these little beauties from Fox. I'm not sure if other companies make them. So what I do is I make a hair rig, a catfish hair rig, but I make the hair very, very short, so it's very close to the hook. And then what I do is I'll just use one of these. They come in 2 different sizes. You can use them for meat as well. Maybe I'll show you the rig later. But so what you do is you just hook that part there onto the hair, and that part will already be on the hair, and then you just push it on, and then your bait will be trapped there, and it won't go any further than the notch at the end. I've been using those for catfish for quite a while, and they're pretty good. They keep the bait on, they don't tend to come off. So let's get this squid out, and hopefully we'll get a fish on it, and then hopefully Keith will have another fish on his mackerel. I think he's going to put both rods out on dead baits the same as I am, because it's proven last time we came here they were taking dead baits, and now they're taking dead baits as well. So yeah, it just makes sense for us not to worry about pellets and that sort of thing at the moment. I'm not even going to put freebies out, I'm just going to let the catfish home in on the scent. Right, let's get this cast out. Go on the Weller, 3rd catfish. You okay? Just enjoy it, son. Unless he's going to flap about on the bank then. Good size. So it's 3-0 to Mr. Weller at the moment. I just want the one fish and I'll be happy, because it's been a bit of a nightmare for me, really. I'm struggling to even stand up at the moment. My knees and my back are in so much trouble. I think it's a little bit too soon for me to fish for carp and catfish. I should really stick to small species and pike, really. Pike are not small, but I can handle them a lot easier, being able to chin them. But with these carp and catfish, when they're on the mat, they're going to be, a lot difficult for me to deal with. So I've got to try and work out a way I can hold the carp up, or catfish, well, catfish mainly. But there you go, Keith's just netting him now, hopefully. Don't know what size it is, we'll have a look when he goes on the mat in a minute. Sweet. He's still fighting him. They really do. They've been giving really, really funny bites today, which I've noticed. Well, both of us have noticed. Almost the alarm's not going, but the rod tips are bouncing. So we've been watching the rod tips. Yeah, so they've been a bit tentative. Right, let's go and see if we can help him out a little bit. Just do it on the sleeve, don't have to put it on the metal. Go on, son. Oh.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, go. Calm me down enough. 23.2.
No.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie to you, am I? Why'd I lie to you, baby? 23.2. So you beat your PB by 2 ounces. Oh, Weller. What can I say? Well, you're beating me. I actually enjoy watching you catch them, to be honest with you. Yeah, remember how it goes? Oh yeah, he's going to bash you up. It's alright, let him prop.
not very happy this one.
2 ounces bigger, that's why. Your head is red raw. Sweet. That's it, waiting for his tail to come in. Nah, it just moved again. That's it.
Must be that quick. Put your hat on there.
Yes, the Weller.
Get in there, boy. Smashing PBs is what we do.
So, Mr. Weller's had a 2 ounce over PB. So, what's the next one? £23 4 ounce.
Oh, we'll go for a 30.
Well, do you know what? I'm actually enjoying watching you catch, to be honest with you. Well done, Mr. Weller. Another one to return. I wouldn't mind just the one fish this trip. Just one would do me. You're right, peeps. So, I really wanted to show you more footage, but unfortunately at the moment I've got nothing to show you for myself. Guys next to me in the next swim, one of them's packing up, I believe, or will be packing up pretty soon. But he's had they both had quite a few fish between them. This lake really can produce really highly. Keith's battering me at the moment. He's had 4 runs, converted 3 fish. First one £10, second one £23, which is a PB for him, and then the third one was £23 2 ounce, again a PB by 2 ounces. He's really sort of got a nice little area where he's putting dead baits. We're both fishing dead baits solely now. We're not fishing pellets at all. I don't keep swimming willies and pellets out. So yeah, like I say, tomorrow. So I've got to make sure my bivvy's not going to blow away. Tomorrow I'll probably sort of show you a bit more of the lake and the complex, and that's really pretty. But I'm struggling a little bit today, not just with the fishing, just in general. So to drown my sorrows, Keith has kindly bought me my favourite, the old Koppenberg. You know, bit of a fruity cider drink, but
Other ciders are available.
other ciders are available, as Keith said. Okay then, so we'll name one. Recording, I like recording as well.
Magners.
Not a big fan of Magners.
Strongbow.
Nah, a bit strong for me. I know Joe from Nothing But Fishing. He loves Thatchers. He literally, it's like he could put a drip in his arm with Thatchers. He loves Thatchers. I've never tried it, I'll be honest with you, but I do like cider. But yeah, so yeah, we're having a cheeky little cider, as you can see. I finished mine. Keith's still halfway through. He's savouring the taste. Yeah, they're just really nice, but drowned in my sorrows really, because like I say, I've not had a fish. But I'll be honest with you, I know this is going to sound really sort of cliche and you probably won't believe me, but I'm not too fussed at the moment, to be honest. I've got my mind on other things, so it's actually really nice seeing Keith catch them and take photos. I caught some really nice photos for him, which I'll put up at some point in this video. And you can get to see what he caught. I'll tell you what, I'll put them up after this little introduction that I'm talking at the moment. I'll stick them up and show you. Really nice fish, long fish, not exactly chunky, but long fish. But this is a great runs water for anybody who wants to come down here and do a bit of catfishing, like I said, and wants to learn catfishing, have their first catfish. This is an ideal water. And what's really good about this place as well is that the owners are really hot on their rigs, hot on everything, litter. Yeah, they're on you, and I love that. You know, don't get me wrong, some waters I think just they got far too many rules, but these are sensible, proper rules, and that's what I like about this place. That's why the fishing's so good. But it's such a pretty water as well, and like I say, I will give you some views of it tomorrow at some point, because we've probably got from now around 24 hours left, so I still think I might have a chance of at least one fish. How I deal with that fish is another matter. It'll be just my luck. I might get one of the big ones and then I'll find it difficult to deal with, but with Keith's help I'm sure he'll be able to help me with it. But fantastic. So I'll bring you back if we have any more fish or if I have a fish. Until then, keep watching because you never know. Right, so I've just come back from the loo and Mr. Weller is in again. He's got the clutch as tight as he possibly can, he said, and the fish is still pulling line off him. It was playing out in the middle of the lake, but it looks like it's still there. It's not turned into the bay like it did before on the other fish. But yeah, geezer behind me's had another one, so it's very prolific, but he's in the middle of packing up to go home, but he's had a fish as well in the middle of it. So yeah, it's not that long after I've done the last video update. Yeah, you're definitely in the right area for him, aren't you? Very simple rigs keeps using. It's almost like a cart rig, whereas mine are a bit beefier, using a lot bigger baits. I'm going to recast mine at the moment because mine I pulled my ones in, so put new baits on them. So I brought them in so I could use the loo, and I'm going to rebait them. Mackerel on one and squid on the other like I was before, but I might come a little bit shorter. Leave them out there till an hour or two after dark, maybe up to about 10-11 o'clock, and then I'm going to reel my rods in because I won't be able to cope with dealing with fish in the middle of the night. Not with my knees the way they are on my back. So I'm going to get a good night's sleep. Set my alarm for about 4 o'clock, I think it gets early, so I'll have to check on the weather app what time daybreak is. The sun should start shining on our face. It's going to be about 10 degrees tonight, so it'll be fairly chilly. Hopefully not too uncomfortable. Not sure whether to put the front panel on my bivvy or not, or on my brolly. Yeah, Keith's got the fish just, if I'm zoom in, it's just there. You see the swells. Trying to make a dash for the tree, just to the left hand, to the right hand side. But yeah, he's using, I think I might have mentioned it before, I'm not sure, Wetchwood 201s, which are kind of a medium range quality rod, really nice rod. And he's using those with some Dowah bait runners, big pit bait runners or baby pit bait runners. Oh, you're joking. Oh. Right, I'm going to have to stop this video while I go and deal with Keith's line. Same thing's happening as before. Right, so Keith's just played that fish. Got a bit of a tangle with the other rods, but it's all fine. We unhooked the fish in the net. It's a nice fish. It's not so much bigger than the other ones. Pretty similar stamp.
I don't know.
What do you reckon?
It's not worth weighing, is it?
I don't know. What do you reckon? Might be worth a go.
About the same as the others.
Yeah?
Mid-20, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd say mid-20. Might be a PB though, Keith. Do you feel confident in getting another one?
Yeah, we'll get one bigger than that.
Proper confidence and weather there.
Mid-20.
So he's going to let that one go. Personally, I would have had a picture, but then again, I am blanking. But Keith's having it at the moment. For somebody who's new to catfishing, he's doing well. Brought his carp fishing into play. Fantastic. There she goes. Or he. Swims off to fight another day. Well done, Mr. Weller again.
Oh, happy days.
Wicked.
It's 4.
4 on a bant.
320s and a kitten.
It's crazy, you lost the first run, didn't you? And since then you've...
The first one was the smallest one,
Yeah, smallest one.
Like that, so right.
Sweet, well done, fella.
Nice.
Wicked. Yeah, Keith on the Ridge Monkey. What are you having, Keith?
Cornish pasty, mate.
Cornish pasty, sweet.
Cornish pasty, yeah.
I've got some mini beef ones if you want some.
No, this is traditional Cornish pasty.
Nothing but the finest traditional ginsters.
Ginsters of Cornwall.
You know that's not actually made in Cornwall. Ginsters are probably made somewhere like, I don't know, Sheffield or Kettering or something. Do you know what I mean? Just randomly made elsewhere.
Nice.
That's perfect, a Ridge Monkey for that sort of thing. You know, you just turn it over, cooks it inside, just a nice quick meal. You know, it's nice for the winter, so when I do my piking, it's ideal for that kind of thing. Don't really want to sort of do a proper dinner, but it's worth experimenting, joining maybe the Facebook page. Sweet. I've had a pasty earlier on, so I'm not too hungry at the moment. Right, let's have a little tie. That was beautiful this evening, isn't it? Look at the water. I'll show you, like I say, tomorrow. Water in a lot better depth. It's absolutely picturesque. It's beautiful. Our swim's a bit mash up at the moment because we got it flooded quite recently in the swim, so it's quite waterlogged underneath the stones, and the stones almost feel like your feet's sort of dipping in them. Hence the reason we got boards and pallets at the moment. So it's not very picturesque in our swim, but trust me, the swims here are beautiful and they're well looked after. But I will take you for a little walk around the lake tomorrow. Just recast my rods. So I've got a squid left hand rod, sort of halfway in the water, and then maybe a third array. So the squid sort of down here, halfway up, and then just over here off this. So if you can see that sort of green tree, a third of the way out, there's like a little depression. It used to be a pond before this lake was built, so there's a slight depression in that area, and I've cast that way with 2 bluey on the rig I had the mackerel on earlier. So yeah, I'm fishing it the old kebab style, Mick Brown kebab style. I'm hoping I might be able to pick up a fish before dark would be nice, but I'll probably fish maybe an hour or two after dark, see how we go. But keeps walloping me, mate. He's on 5 fish now, I think. 4 fish, 5 fish. So yeah, he's walloping me today. But the guys next to us, between them, they probably have 15, 20 fish. So probably fish here quite a lot. They know the spots. But yeah, we're still learning. It's only our second trip here. Oh, caught. Don't know if you saw that. Just over there by the island, a carp boshing out. On the other side of the island. Seen a lot of carp activity today, boshing out. Some really nice carp in here as well. There's quite a lot of carp in here, but you know, we're not really fishing for them, hence the reason we're using dead baits. But I'm sure if you use like a 18mm or 15mm boilie set up with small pellets, that kind of thing, you'll probably draw the carp in as well. One day we'll probably end up doing that, but we've only got catfish on our minds. Hello peeps, so just a really quick update. It's 8:30 at the moment. We've recast all our rigs back out now for the evening. So I'm going to fish, like I say, till dark, just after dark personally. Keith's going to fish throughout the night, and then I'm going to sort of recast again at first light so I can get my head down. So yeah, just the update really. It's been a bit of fun and games. As you can see now, I've actually got Keith's rig in shot. He's actually fishing a dumbbell rig, and underneath that he's got squid. I'm actually fishing squid, as you saw earlier, on one of my rods on the bottom. Quite a large lump of squid, well, a whole squid. Keith's doing the same. He's slightly smaller than my squid, I think. But he's yeah, he's fishing them under a dumbbell. I mean, it would be better with leeches or a big bunch of lobworms or something. But it's worth giving a go, you know. It's a new method to him, as it is to me. I'm familiar with it, but I've never fished with it before. It looks pretty tasty, actually. I wouldn't mind trying it myself. Next time we go catfishing, maybe next year, or maybe later in the season. But yeah, fancy getting a couple of those and giving them a go myself. But yeah, the fun and games happened about 20 minutes ago. It was me. I was laying in bed, laying in the bivvy behind me, and just getting settled down for the evening, just sort of watching the water as the light's starting to fade now and the sun's disappeared. And funny bites me and Keith have been getting all day. We've had a few, well, Keith's had a few little sort of proper takes, but most of them have not been alarm bites. We've actually seen the rod tips sort of bouncing. So my green rod, so I just moved mine over, so my right hand rod, my green rod, it sort of went beep beep, and that was it. And I was watching the alarm, and then the rod tip was proper going mental, and Keith goes, look, your rod tip's bouncing, it's still on, it's still on. So I've jumped up, stuck into it, started playing this fish. Unfortunately I can't stand for too long. I stood as long as I possibly could, and then Keith stuck the chair behind me. I sort of sat down in sort of a Quint from Jaws fashion. It was quite funny. Sort of leaned into it, got the butt into my belly as if I was sort of sea fishing for a big conger eel or something. It's quite funny. And this thing, I couldn't, trust me, I'm using 3-pound test curve rods, you know, standard carp gear, big pit reel, you know, 18-pound line, and I just, clutches were fairly tight, and I just couldn't stop it. There you go, there's another little, do you see that? Just watching the rod tip now, because that's what's the giveaway for these bites. Yeah, and it went towards the island, which is just there, and it took me apparently as a post, not far in front of that island, which I didn't know about, and it took me to the post, and it just frayed me up and cut me off basically. So I don't lose catfish. I'm not only gutted for the fish, it's a very safe rig, so it should be able to eject the hook fairly easily. You know, it's not carrying around any leads or anything like that because I'm using running rigs. So it's just really the hook link material, a little bit of line and the actual hook itself. Barbless hook, so it should be able to shed that. But yeah, very gutted because I believe it to be my PB. You know, my PB's £25 4 ounces, which isn't very big in the catfish world because I don't really fish for them too often. But trust me, it felt big. It felt like a 30 pluser. I know it's easy to say that, but I've never felt a big fish like that before, apart from, you know, holding a rod with a big fish on over in France with my mate. But yeah, I've never really sort of felt the power like that, and that was heavy. So yeah, the fish run to, like I say, recently 42 or 44 pounds has come out of this lake. It's a runs water for catfish. Like I say, it's not a big prolific catfish lake in terms of size, but I think there was rumoured to be a 70 a couple of years ago. I don't know if that's still about. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, a bit gutted that I've lost a fish because, like I say, I think it would have been a PB. But yeah, I'm just in the bivvy at the moment, so I'm just going to about lay down and watch the rods again, and hopefully we'll get another run before dark. And at least I can say I've had a fish on my first day. But anyway, keep watching, you never know. Either tonight or I've got a whole day tomorrow as well, so hopefully put one on the bank. Morning chaps. So yeah, I've just woken up. Well, not just woken up, I've not really had too much sleep at all, sort of drifting in and out of sleep. It was really cold last night, so yeah, I didn't fish, as I said. I've only just recast my rods now. It's 7 o'clock. I've got blue head on one rod and mackerel head on the other. Quite a small chunk. One I've actually directly put onto the hook. That was what had the squid on it. And the other one is using my little kebab rig, and I've gone sort of halfway through, sort of on the diagonal. So one sort of hair rigged and one sort of directly hooked. So they're quite small baits. They're only sort of, you know, that size, small mackerel heads. So yeah, recast out. 7 o'clock. We've got to be off around 7:30. So we've got a full day ahead of us. Like I say, it was a really cold night. Keith didn't unfortunately get any fish during the night. He had both his rods out, one on the dumbbell that he put out last knockings last night, and the other one on the bottom. He's recast these as well. He's had some grub, and yeah, I'm going to have a little tidy up and get things in order, and then sit back and hopefully bag at least one fish for me today. I'll be quite happy. So it's, you know, it's the second day. I was on a bit of a downy yesterday, I ain't gonna lie. So a bit optimistic. Hopefully we can get at least one fish from myself. Like I say, it'll be a bit difficult to cope with. Obviously I've also been thinking about the one I lost last night, because it was a good fish. It was definitely a PB, but unfortunately that's how the cookie crumbles, as I say. But I know Keith, I'm quite hopeful Keith will get a couple of more fish. You know, he's spotted over a couple of his area. He's having a bit of a change up. I think he's gone back on pellet on one of the rods and a solid bag, just to see. The guy along from us is just having action after action, and he's fishing solid bags with pellets right up against the far margin. So he's done really well. But like I say, if you're into coming down here for big hit fishing, then it's ideal for that. You know, as my ethos has always been, it's just to catch a fish at a time. I've always been that way, be it carping, be it piking, whatever. Just a bite at a time. I don't sort of go with the mentality of catching loads and loads of fish. But this water can certainly do it. You know, maybe my head's not, I ain't gonna lie to you guys, maybe my head's not in it at the moment as much as it should be. Got my mind on other things, which is, you know, but I'm here to catch fish. I'm gonna try and put the effort in for the next 12 hours and hopefully bag one at least for the camera. But you've seen plenty of fish from Keith, so you know he's having it up. He's doing really well. He's used his carping approach and he's put it into play with his catfishing. So no, I'm well pleased for him. He's had 2 PBs. But anyway, let's see what the next 12 hours bring. What's up, people? So, I thought I'd show you one of the rigs I'm using. Basically, it's almost like the kebab rig. What I like about these is the, let me show you it now. So there we go. Don't know if you can see that pin. That's a kebab rig pin you can buy from Fox, just along now, the red one. And it comes with a little silicone thing. And what it does is, I make quite a short hair. Don't know if you can see that hair. So I make quite a short hair, and the hair then just clips onto the end of the tube, not the tube, into the end of the I don't know what you would call it, pin, and then the silicone goes over the top to stop it coming off. So as you can see, that's kind of, yeah, it's a little bit clunky and clumpy looking. So what I tend to do as well, just so it helps with the cast, is I just nick it through the top chin like that, and that just takes the weight of the cast basically. But those pins are pretty handy because you can use them for meat and all sorts of fishing, for catfish, so meat, kebab rigs. It's all sorts of means to ends that you can use that for. And it just stops it flying off on the cast really. They're pretty cool pins. You can use a poly ball on there as well if you wanted to pop it up a little bit, or maybe even a really soft pop-up, so something like the krill. I'm using the krill pop-ups at the moment on one of my rods, a white pop-up, and it's really dirty and stinky and smelly, and you could just use that to negate the weight of the rig. So not with catfish it matters too much, but that's one of the rigs I've been using. It's very, very similar to what I've caught on previous sessions for catfish. Just having a bit of a nightmare session this one. I feel a bit more confident. I've recast my rods out, so I feel a little bit more confident in what I've got at the moment. So I just thought I'd show you that rig. Okay, so a little bit of an update. I'm not sure what the time is. Must be around the 12 o'clock mark. Basically, recast the rods out, getting a few knocks. Got a little bit further afield on one of my rods, so the yellow rod, so it's the left hand rod, is now sort of probably a rod length and a half, maybe a bit more. Just, I don't know if you can sort of see, no, it's hard to point, to sort of see over there in that bay over there. So just round by that tree. That one's with a sort of weird boilie pellet thing, and then the other one I've just cast out is like a depression hole, which used to be a pond sort of midway out, sort of in line with the island, as the island comes across, sort of midway in the lake. Yeah, and that's got a mackerel head. I've had two positive sort of knocks, little knock on the rod there. Keith's getting loads of knocks on his rod, just down to the left hand side. So you can see there Keith's left hand rod, which is cast just out there. He's getting quite a few knocks. He's not got his back lids on at the moment, so a few of them have probably been liners, but he's had a couple of nice little positive bites, so but he's quietened up a little bit. The only sort of person who's catching is the guy on the left hand side really. So the guy sort of just fishing now. He's catching fish after fish, one after another. Every time we turn the head round, he's got a fish in the net. So he's proper having it up, whatever he's doing, he's working for him. Oh, Keith's got a run. Keith had another run. Well, another twitch. So yeah, so it looks promising. We're hoping we'll at least get, well, a couple more fish before the end of the day. So we've got another, what, 6 hours or so, and we'll start slowly packing the bivvies and the bed chairs and that away around 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But until then, just going to chill out. I reckon he is. So Mr. Weller's in again. Been playing him for a little bit. Really tentative, strange bites. A few little knocks, little taps. Keith sat down on the piece of wood below his feet and just sort of waited because he thought it might go again. It did. It tore off. It's giving him a bit of a fight at the moment, which is good. Stripped line off him a few times. It's a bit blowy, less sunny today. It's just out in front of me. Right, let him finish the fight off and then we'll see what he's got to put on the mat.
The line must stick over the tower there, bit. Actually, my arm keeps going. I keep coming off.
Well, that's a nice fish. Yeah, nice fish that, Keith.
Can we connect it for you? That's how I do it. Hang on.
Not ready yet, is he? Watch out, he's going for the other line. It's giving you one hell of a fight there, Keith. That's what it's all about. Looks a lot bigger fish. I could be wrong. Ah, he's woken up again, isn't he? Yeah, of course. If he wants to go, let him go. Longer he's out there, easier he's on the bank to deal with. It's not ready, mate, is he? Yeah, I think he's a bigger fish, mate. Making one last gasp run again. There he is. He's lovely. Well in. Well done, Keith.
Yeah.
So take a breather, mate. Take a breather, son. Let's have a quick look. You reckon? Yeah.
Yeah, mate. That's definitely.
Yeah, he's definitely your new PB. Just give him a rest. Well done, fella. We'll get him unlooked in a minute and then we'll show you in for the camera. Yeah, I think that's definitely a PB, Keith. So it's 23.2, isn't it, so far?
One bit of sweet corn, I put it on.
Single grain of sweet corn. Yeah, I think so. Up to 20 maybe? Maybe bigger, I don't know. I'm not very good at guessing catfish weights. It's a long fish. 28, yeah, I'd say 28, 29. Hoping it makes 30 for you, Keith. That's what you wanted, mate. Yeah. Sweet.
We'll wait first.
Yeah, do you want to hammer that? I reckon it's close. It's close.
It's a big old belly on it. Yeah.
Yeah, look how long it is. Lovely, isn't it? Oh, yours are off again. The gentleman beside us, his rod's gone again. He's in. He's had him left, right and centre this trip. Right. I'm saying 28.5 to 29. I hope it's 30 for your sake.
32.
It's a big fish, mate. I'll tell you what, if that's a 30, I'm going to be so happy for you. That'd be your first 30 fish ever?
Yeah, it'd be my carp PB and all.
Well, whatever it is, it's a beautiful fish, mate, regardless of size.
Do you want to read it?
Yeah, I'll read it. I'm filming as well, so we'll have a little look.
Good. Come on.
I can't, mate. It's not. I'm saying about 30, 31.
31.
Yeah.
What, bang on?
It's about 31, yeah.
Try and get...
Do you want me to hold it up? You check.
Yeah, go on.
So we just weighed it, re-weighed it, and we've put it just over, what was it, 30?
£30, 12 ounce.
£30, 12 ounce. Absolutely fantastic. I knew it was there or thereabouts. We all had a guess. But I'm well pleased for it. So, just going to hoist it up, just show us it quickly, and I'll get a couple of quick pictures after. She's beautiful. Look at that. Keys first. There you go, she'll calm down, don't worry. Well done, Mr. Weller. Sweet. Right, let's get a couple of pictures for you. Right, let's go and watch Keith release his fish. His first 30 of any species. I hope mine will be a pike, but there we go. Absolute beautiful. Very difficult to hold catfish. Some people can, I'm not very good at holding them myself. Very difficult. These are very long fish at Charlie's Lake, so it's very hard to get the balance on them. There she goes. Woohoo!
It's in there. £30, 12.
Sweet, well done, boy. I can't believe we're just about to do a conclusion and his rod's gone off again. Can you believe that? I was actually filming that, Keith. We'll have to try again in a minute.
Try not to laugh.
Well, yeah, laugh what? Because I blanked. What can I say?
No, not because you played. Go on then, press play.
You know this is going to go on.
Press play.
He's playing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. We're live on Facebook. No, we're not. So, end of the trip for us. We've got about an hour before we need to pack up. And we're packing up slowly, packing up bivvies. As you just saw, Keith just had another run in the middle of sitting down and trying to make this conclusion. So what have you lost now and what you had, Keith? Because I can't remember.
I just lost that one, so I've lost 3 and landed 7.
Lost 3, landed 7.
Yeah, so
That's mental.
10 fish on. I've probably had another 3 or 4 unconverted runs as well, so that I've struck into, and nothing there. So yeah, it's been a good session for me.
That was actually quite a nice fish. It looks a nice fish in terms of when you plan it. But
I lost it in exactly the same spot that you lost yours. I must admit, I was living dangerously, because I know there's a snag there. When we first got here, the bailiff said about there's a scaffold pole that comes out the side of the island at an angle. There's only a sort of a foot between the island and the pole, but they know where it is and they find it. So I was probably fishing 4 or 5 yards from the pole originally when I fish picked it up. So as soon as I've connected, got to the rod, it's already around the back of the pole. So I had it on for a little while, tightened right up to it, and as soon as it got past the tubing,
you're gone.
it
But
broke me off.
it's gutting, isn't
but
it?
is that the same thing as you?
Exactly.
You went around the back of the island yesterday, and then
I mean, it took me a bit further to get to the pole before it had done me in the pole. I mean, so it's one of those things. It's gutting when it happens, but you know, Keith's had a blind to this session. You can't knock him.
yeah, three PBs in a session is good, isn't it?
You can't knock that, and I'm well pleased for him. I'm well made up for him. But the guy next to us, in the bay just to our left-hand side, there was 2 people originally, and this guy he must have had over we at least say 50 fish at least. He was just having it up, just packing away now himself. There's quite a few new people.
He's done 48 hours though, hasn't he? And he reckons he's done 75 solid bags worth.
That's crazy. Yeah, he just told
A couple
us.
of recasts involved with that, I suppose, as well. But yeah, if he's had a lot of fish. They must, but we've got to say that the cats are spawning at the moment, or well, nesting. So all the females are busy building nests, and that corner that he's in is very snaggy. So I'd imagine all the females was tucked away, tucked in the snags, and all the males are out
That's right.
feeding within the bay. And
It's crazy because a lot of the males have got lots of scratches and marks on them, obviously, because where the females have been bashing them up, basically get away from the nest sort of thing, waiting for the spawning. So
I mean, I learnt that lesson within a couple of hours of being here yesterday. Sort of the first point of attack was the island and an overhanging tree on the far bank, and then after seeing where other people are catching fish from and talking to the bailiff, I then brung my rods in a good rod length or 2 away from the features, and that's when I started getting the bite. So
It's a nice place, you know. Charlie's Bay, they look after the fish. They've got plenty of fish here. They look after you as an angler. We love it here. We come here once a year. I'm guessing Keith will probably come down
On
himself.
Facebook today it came up as the memories. Today was this time last year today that we was here. This
That's
time last year
crazy.
today.
And the weather has been, it couldn't have been much different. I mean, it was really hot yesterday, but today it's been cold, overcast, a bit chilly, rained a little bit, drizzled. But no, you can't complain. You know, it's been a good session, although I blanked. It's been a good session. It's been a good learning curve watching what everyone else is doing. And like I say, me and Keith will be back here next year for our annual catfishing trip. Maybe Keith might come down here with his family for a session maybe, or his dad on the match lake, because it also has a match lake as well. So, you know, go and check it out. Charlie's Lake on Facebook. They've got their own Facebook page. But yeah, I can't say enough. The bailiff is sound, puts you on the spot, helps you out. Fantastic, you know. And they're really hot on their rules as well, checking your rod license and all that. It's brilliant. So, anything left to say, Keith? You got any conclusions?
No, nothing left to say really. No, just tight lines and dead baits.
Ah, don't you? Oh, look, got another run? Oh no.
No, that's not me.
Jesus, I can't believe he's nicking my quotes now. He's actually dictating to me as well how to edit and do the videos.
The next Keith video will be coming soon.
Please please put in the comment section below that he needs to get his own channel, because he's starting to hijack mine. Just by the fish today, on yesterday, he's hijacked the channel. Anyway, yeah, tight line and dead baits, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give that thumbs up and leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. We've also got a Facebook page. Don't forget to go onto the Facebook page, and I've got loads of videos coming up. Tackle making, that's it. Finished. Let's go.